Oh, hey, you just caught me podcasting here.
That's so lame. Stop it. No, you didn't.
Hang on, I need more product in my hair to be
Oh.
able to make that joke.
Look how this was so perfectly Oh, you just caught me podcasting here.
Is this
Isn't that something?
artisan microphone just here? Oh, how random.
Welcome to the Country Squire. I'm Beau York.
All right.
That's terrible.
Yeah. For reference, check out the Country Squire's Black Friday video. Welcome to Country Squire Radio on No, that's not how we do it. We started off. That is not how we do it, and I apologize. This is what happens, man. You do a joke in the cold open, and everybody's lost. I feel like a fraud. I apologize. Tonight on Country Squire Radio, we're talking. That's right. Pipe shop fails, your favorite pet peeves part 2, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a lot of fun. We also have a pipe question of the week that deals with a kind of follow-up to last week's pipe question in terms of smokability. How do you know that you're getting a good quality product? We'll talk about that, as well as quick-fire questions, listener feedback, and more happening tonight on Country Squire Radio. Welcome, Country Squire Radio. I'm Beau.
And I'm John David.
JD.
Hey, Beau. Good evening, man.
Man, good evening to you, sir. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. You know, we're in the thick of the holiday rush, man.
Yes, sir.
It's been game on. You know, 1 week we have our website shut down by Esoterica. The next week it's Black Friday, and this week the just madness continues to go. So yeah, we're on top of it, man. It's been a lot of fun. Just kind of getting into the holiday season. People, coming in and buying gifts for others, buying gifts for themselves, and coming up with all kinds of great excuses to, have that brand new pipe to keep them company at night. So,
oh, it's beautiful. And let me ask you, when people are coming in for the holiday rush, do they just happen to walk in on you like, oh, just, I don't know, hand blending tobacco?
Yeah, hey, you caught me blending.
You caught me blending.
Hey there, you caught me blending.
Has your mom ever caught you blending before?
No.
Okay.
No, she definitely would have kicked me out of the house.
I'd imagine so.
If that was the case.
I would imagine
so. Man, we had our good friend James Foster was here last week. Pylorns, as you might know him online or through some of the forums. He's actually the webmaster for the Country Squire,
and a fantastic one
for our shop. Yeah, does a really good job on the Country Squire's website. And so he came in last week. He has some family here in Jackson. He came here to visit, and while he was here, he brought all this camera equipment and a drone and all this other stuff. And he took some really cool footage, and we shot a small commercial for Black Friday, and it was terribly. It was full of cheese.
It was very corny.
It was full of cheese.
The thing is, you set me up.
It was pretty bad.
You told me like, oh, it's just real corny. It's real cheesy. And I was thinking like it was going to be one of these, oh, Black Friday, check it out. Come down Sunday, except for Friday. That kind of thing.
Wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man.
Yeah, you went in the complete opposite direction. Just that down home music, the little drone intro there. I mean, y'all,
I felt like the little Pepperidge Farm guy, like falling off the back of that Conestoga wagon or whatever, Yes.
Yes. If you have not seen this yet, I'll make sure that we've got a link to it in the show notes. But it's
don't do that.
No, it has to be seen. But it's a great video. You walk in to the Country Squire. You got John David with product all throughout his hair, just a full mane, tobacco Jesus in full effect. And it's and you look up at the camera just so kindly and like, oh, sorry, you just caught me blending.
Hey, that happens on a daily basis here at the Country Squire.
That's true.
People walk in and we are blending tobacco.
And
I'm wearing my apron. I've got product in my hair. I look impeccable. It's just a daily thing at the Country Squire.
A master blender like yourself, if somebody was to walk in on you blending, I'm sure they'd be, ecstatic. Honestly, just very, very ecstatic.
Absolutely.
All right. So here's the thing, man. We've got a lot of stuff going on as we are right in the holiday season. Of course, that was your video to promote Black Friday, but the day before it, of course, the big turkey day, man. How was Thanksgiving?
That's right. It was great, man. We had a really good Thanksgiving day. It was so much fun. The poor guy editing all this out.
Sorry, Mike. Sorry,
Mike. It's just gonna be
We're
terrible.
cracking each other up, man. We're gonna have to take that one from the top.
It's really bad.
How was your Thanksgiving, man?
Man, we had a great Thanksgiving. It was just so much fun. My precious fiance did all this cooking, and we had family in town, and man, it was just quite delicious.
All right, wait. What did the future Mrs. Cole? What she make?
Well,
man?
she made a big old turkey, and we had a.
You were on bird patrol.
She did the bird patrol, which was
yeah.
good. And she also happens to be our live studio.
I know,
which is good.
A little confusing on my part.
But so we had that homemade green bean casserole. apple pie, homemade, made from scratch, all these kind of things.
You do it all mode.
It was very good. We didn't do it all mode. We forgot the ice cream.
You know what?
We forgot the ice cream
too, man.
Yeah, it's just part of it.
Typically, so the last couple of years,
there's a lot of moving parts during Thanksgiving, man.
It's
trying to juggle all this stuff, and in the midst of this, I'm trying to clean up all the dog hair out of my house just to make people think that I'm not a complete slob, even though I really am. It just on and on and on. But she pulled it off great. I didn't stumble very much. It worked out good.
No, that's good, man. Yeah, it's interesting. Ice cream is one of those additions that you don't really associate with Thanksgiving, but it is a crucial part to the pie experience.
No, that's right.
For me personally,
I tend to agree.
We did the same thing. So we did pecan pie. We brought pecan pie this year. I made some cornbread oyster dressing. I've waxed poetic about for years on the show. And yeah, it was really, really good, man. It was a little bit of a smaller gathering. It was mostly just kind of myself, my siblings and their families, as well as my parents. So
yeah,
it was a little smaller than usual, but a lot of fun.
Here in Jackson. Y'all hang out locally. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And so it was a blast, man. And good bird. I got a good report on the dressing. They said it was the best ever.
Now, you made the dressing?
Oh yeah.
Good. Okay. Good.
Oh man, my cornbread oyster. I'm not going to do it. I talk about it every single year. I wax poetic. I won't do it. I won't bore you this year.
Are you going to lobby for a dressing and tobacco pairing? Is that the next thing?
Is that a possibility?
So we're going to move on from barbecue to dressing. What's next? A hot chocolate dressing.
Keep going
and pairing. I don't know.
Yeah,
no. I mean, this could go in a lot of different directions. At some point, we just have to admit to the fact that we just really want to eat and drink on camera.
Yeah, no, I feel like we've admitted that a long time ago. But no, man, we got some great shows kind of as we gear up here in the midst of the holiday season. Really excited to bring you some great content. We always, I don't know if you know this, but a lot of planning, a lot of painstakingly prepping goes into every single episode. But a lot of times it is kind of week to week. And so as we're kind of gearing up here for the holidays, we've got some good stuff scheduled down the line. Now,
yeah, that's right.
One of which, of course, our Christmas special is going to be coming up in a couple of weeks here. And one of the things that makes this Christmas special especially special is that we're wanting to do this a custom cob contest. Now, we've talked about this couple of different weeks in the past, but this year we've got a holiday custom cob competition. We're encouraging you guys, y'all listeners, take a corn cob pipe, purchase a Missouri meerschaum, paint it, do a custom whatever you want to do to it.
Yeah, you can even reconstruct part of it as long as it's smokable. It's just got to be smokable. Yeah,
it's got to be smokable. You need to make sure that it is here at the Country Squire. Look for the address on the website, but it needs to be here by December 15th, because the December 18th is actually when we'll be recording our Christmas special, and we want to make sure we have all of your entries in by then. So again, for all of it's our holiday custom cob competition. 1 pipe per person. All pipes must be smokable, and all pipes need to be here at the Country Squire by December 15th. The winner will receive a custom corncob pipe trophy that will be gilded and not smokable.
It will probably be just awful.
It's going to be glorious.
Yeah. Well,
it's going to be awesome.
Yeah. What one man's treasure.
Maybe next year I'll do a tree topper. I'm just now realizing.
Oh, a tree top. That'd be fun.
I should have gone in that direction.
Yeah. Or you could make an ornament, just an ornament.
Yeah, it'll be ornamental. Like a car ornament?
What?
Like that thing that goes on the front of a car?
Did you steal the Mercedes-Benz thing off some poor fool's car?
It's a little bit like that. But yeah, so one last time, make sure to get those in by December 15th for our Christmas episode, which we'll be recording on December 18th. Now, we'll be off from the live show for Christmas Day.
That's right.
However, we will have an episode coming to you that weekend. We'll have more information about that as we get closer. But the week after Christmas, which will be January 1st of the new year, we'll be doing something that we've never done before. And I'm really excited about this. We'll actually be doing a best of 2017 as jointly decided by you, dear listener, and us / mostly John David.
Really excited about this.
Yeah. So we've actually posted this up earlier today to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Country Squire Radio. Also, club members have also gotten a unique post as well, kind of giving them a direct way to turn in their entries for the best of 2017 I guess nomination.
Yeah, no, that's right. And we'll be talking about all kinds of things: best pipe manufacturer, best artisan carver, best tobacconist, best tinned tobacconist. All these different things. I mean, there's lots of different things that we'll be covering, and it's kind of an opportunity just to highlight the hallmarks of the current pipe industry in the pipe world. I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. And I'll run you down the list real quick here. And again, you can find this list on Facebook, and club members can also find it at the Patreon account. We're looking for 2017, the best tin tobacco, best hand blended tobacco, best blender, best pipe carver as in an individual, best pipe manufacturer as in a company, best pipe related product, that's a little bit open-ended, and best pipe publication. We also have kind of two additional ones that are a little bit self-serving in here, which is best 2017 episode of Country Squire Radio, and best moment and or quote from 2017 Country Squire Radio.
And also, Beau and I haven't discussed this before until just now, which I love when this
happens.
Tons
of planning goes
love when this kind of happens on air, right? But but the best blender, that will not include me.
I was curious how you wanted to play
that.
Actually,
we have a lot of people that love the tobacco we make at the Country Squire, and we're honored by that. But we want to try to find other people in the pipe community, in the pipe industry out there. Maybe it's your hometown tobacconist. Maybe it's a blender at one of the larger companies, someone you found that's kind of got a cult following. That's kind of who we're looking for there. So anyway, just wanted to make that clear.
That's good. Now, best blends, though, I would imagine the hand blended blends here at the Country Squire are up for nomination. However, John David will abstain from voting in that category. How about that?
Fair enough.
That sounds fair. It'll be fun, guys. We're looking.
I think it'll be good. Yeah.
More information again at facebook.com/Country Squire Radio. All right, man. So of course I mentioned, as part of a benefit, not only could you make nominations there, but also our club members got direct access to the Patreon account. And man, I'm proud to say that we've got a new club member who just got access to that.
Yeah, joining at the Squire level, right?
That's right, man. We got Rena Calderon.
Rena Calderon.
Calderon.
I think it's Calderon.
Calderon?
It might be Calderon.
There was a character on Young Justice. He was like Aqualad, but his name was like Calderon.
Yeah.
And I wonder if she's him.
She might be.
She might be.
Yeah.
She might be. What's up, Rena?
Man, Rena, we're just so thrilled. Rena has enjoyed a lot of Country Squire tobacco. We've had several orders from Rena, and so glad to have Rena on board. Man, the club is just really great to have you. We appreciate it so much, and are thrilled to have you on board. This is just such a great way that folks can help support what we're doing here at Country Squire Radio, is kind of being a mouthpiece for the modern pipe smoking community. We're so honored to have your help along the way, and man, what Rena does here today, and what all the other folks, almost 100 people that are also on our Patreon and supporting this actively. You're a big piece of what happens here, and frankly, we just couldn't do this without you.
Absolutely. And to kind of show some thanks, we are continuing a random tradition that we do from time to time, and that's a giveaway, man. Now, we mentioned this prize that was going to be given away to one lucky club member.
Yeah, last week we had our episode. We do it annually, tracking and packing, right?
Tracking and packing.
So we talk about all the different, kind of storing techniques and toting things, and ways to store your pipes and your accessories and tote them around, and keep them safe and organize them and all these kinds of things. We just talked about the just the beauty of just a simple cigar box, and what you can do with just keeping all your pipe knickknacks in a cigar box. And we talked last week on our episode about just the beauty of these Opus X boxes from Arturo Fuente. They're just beautiful, wonderful boxes. And so we had a drawing, and we have chosen at random to win this box that we're just gonna give away, because we feel like giving something away.
Yeah, you mentioned a pure and simple cigar box. I was like, there's nothing simple about this, right?
Yeah,
here.
The Opus X boxes are so beautiful. They actually, it's pretty easy to turn them into humidors, right? They're probably the most well constructed cigar box that's on the market. So Fuente does a good job with all their boxes anyway, but this one is particularly something. So really proud to give this away, and you can use it for all your pipe knickknacks, or maybe something else. But anyway, we chose Squire, or Country Squire International Pipe Club member number 34.
Number 34, Jordan Scoville.
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 Yeah.
Scoville.
Jordan Scoville.
Jordan!
Man,
Congratulations.
You're getting an Opus Xbox.
Yeah.
We're going to send it your way.
And for all of you who think, hey, didn't I win something a couple of weeks ago? Yeah.
You did. It's about to go out.
It's about to go out today or tomorrow or
right.
this week. It's going out this week.
That's right. That's exactly right.
But yeah, congratulations, Jordan. Thank you so much for supporting Country Squire Radio. And if you would like to support the show as well, patreon.com/Country Squire Radio, or if you go to countrysquireradio.com, join the club. There's a big banner right there. Now, man, all of that stuff out of the way, we have got a fun show tonight.
I love it.
I'm really excited. It's as soon as I posted out kind of the best of, I'm starting to hear rumblings that there is one particular episode so far this year that really has stood out to a lot of people. And that is the pipe shop fails / pipe pet peeves.
Yeah, it's like pipe shop pet peeves.
Yeah. And so the concept for the show, if I'm remembering correctly, came about because I think you were just you just had it up to here, as your mama would sometimes say.
Yeah, I think so.
And you just needed a chance to get on mic and vent for a while. And what came out of that was one of the most glorious experiences ever. And I think that, I was a little nervous because, we don't go negative on this show for the most part. We're pretty positive.
Yeah, no, that's right.
But, sometimes you just kind of let the hair down,
I got a lot of it.
Yeah, you got a lot of it. You got a lot of it. You got to let the hair down and you got to kind of let it all hang out. And that is what Pipe Shop Fails is about. Now, it is from both sides of the counter.
No, that's right.
So John David will be sharing some disaster stories from the tobacconist perspective. I will be sharing some bad practices that I have noticed as a customer.
Not just frustrating,
not bad practices here, by the way, just bad practices in my travels around this great country of ours.
No, that's right. That's right. There's lots of opportunity in a shop like this to for quirkiness to get in the way of, human to human interactions, or tobacconist to patron interactions,
human to human
customer interactions, or whatever, and there's just all kinds of opportunity for people to lose their cool. And I love these episodes, right? I love the one we had before, and I love the one that we're doing tonight, because it's my turn for the therapy. It's my turn for the free therapy. We've got the sign on the door, and it's like, oh, free therapy. We're very proud of that. People come in, this is their safe space, and we give them the opportunity to let their guard down and have this, kind of respite for a while where they can get away from the distractions of the world and maybe talk to someone about some things going on in their life or whatever. But now it's my turn.
This bud's for you, my friend. All right.
No,
so what you got for us?
So recently, I guess one of the random things, and again, the only way I know how to attack an episode like this, right, is just to kind of spew from the hip. I mean, there's just so many things that come to mind that that really get under your skin, and like we mentioned so many times last time, grinds your gears, right? It's just something that just continually gets at you, and so we do like to be a place of convenience for folks, but I think so many of these stories that as I kind of ponder about this and sit on this preparing for an episode like this, so many of these stories revolve around people getting maybe just a little too comfortable at the tobacco shop, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so there's all these random things like that come up. Of course, we talked about last time, our friend the Hurricane, for instance, stealing other people's liquor while he's at the shop, and then of course getting a retribution paid back to himself by having his liquor replaced by a foul stench swill.
Shop justice.
Yeah, and it was justice. It was justice. But anyway, so we have regularly folks that come in and will not contribute anything to the common cause here, but are constantly and that's my gracious
way to say that.
That's my gracious way of saying they're not purchasing customers.
Right.
Yeah, but they're not contributing to the local economy. And they're always needing something, right? They're just always needing things, and so folks that come in, and my favorite of late, of course, has been is something that a lot of cigar and pipe smokers need regularly, and that would be butane. Butane. Butane is this gas. It's a very clean burning gas that we put in all of our premium pipe lighters and cigar torches and things of that nature. And it's wonderful because it can stay in there for a really long time if all the seals are good on your lighter. the butane will just stay in your lighter forever, and it's just really really good. And people constantly need it, and they constantly don't want to pay for it, and so it's kind of like that pipe cleaner thing we've got at the shop. How we talked about giving away pipe cleaners to people that just refuse to bring their own pipe cleaners to the Country Squire. Yeah, I mean, that we sell these things, right? We sell pipe cleaners, we sell butane. But
so people do actually ask for to top up their butane?
Yeah, just top it off, right?
Really?
It's like, hey, I'm at the gas station. Hey, you just top me off.
Nobody would do that. Nobody does that.
They do it all the time.
Do they really?
Because
I can understand. I'll throw my name in with the naughty list on the pipe cleaners. I've been that guy before.
Well, and it's one of those things that it's kind of tucked away, but people are always like, well, you got some butane laying around here? Like, let me just have some free butane. Just like buy your own butane for $6 a can. I mean, it's not that expensive.
It's like going to the bar, like, y'all got some beer? It's on tap anyway.
Can you just top me off?
Just top me off.
Just top me off.
That's right. I don't have any in there. Is it
okay if I just put my gullet under your under your font of beer and just top me off? No big deal. But yeah, we have that a lot. It's kind of interesting. And it's funny, as someone that I do think tends to be easygoing and relatively gracious. At least I aspire to be. It's one of those things that just you hear it over and over, and it just kind of gets old a little bit.
That's interesting. I would have never guessed that actually happened.
But that was the thing.
That's fascinating.
Well, I'm thinking we have this sign of shame, right? That's on our pipe cleaner tray, and it says "We sell these."
Right.
And I'm thinking maybe we need to do something similar for the old.
Does that actually work?
The old butane can. Yeah. Actually,
really?
it's funny. We joked last go around about people buying pipe cleaners for the house. Right. Oh, but let me buy some pipe cleaners for the table, right? Well, people do that. Repeat offenders, they'll go buy a pack and just throw it in the "We sell these" can, and it works out.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Yeah. So give me some of your perspective.
Oh, all right. So we're gonna go a little back and forth here.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Well, all right. So one thing that is kind of a pet peeve of mine as a customer is whenever I go into a shop and I have no earthly idea who works here and who doesn't. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that dress code, a dress code or something like that, or uniforms has to be a thing. But if I should at least be greeted by the person that works here to be like, hey, can I help you with something, so that I know what's going on. I mean, we live in kind of the era of the small batch, and there's kind of a charm to the flannel wearing hipster.
The flannel wearing long-haired aproned tobacconist.
Exactly. But at the same time, even if you had say a blending apron on, and you just walked in on them blending, that would be that. Then what's going on. But if they don't have the apron on, then just hey, welcome to the shop. How can I help you? If you are an owner or a manager, or you work at a pipe shop, you've got to be thinking about the customer that walks through the door. Even if you're hanging out with the regulars and the locals, every single day you're going to be encountering somebody who is their first time, not just experiencing your shop, but experiencing the pipe and pipe tobacco for the first time ever.
That's right.
And that's so crucial. You're not just doing it for your shop, you're doing it for the industry. You're doing it for that person's journey. It's a huge responsibility. Don't let them walk in and not know what's going on. So, anyway, that's my soapbox.
It's fascinating, as I hear friends and folks we've met through Country Squire Radio go around the country and talk about the other smoke shops they've been in. I hear this occasionally, right? Man, it's great, and I found a neat little shop, but gosh, the guy behind the counter was just didn't want me to be there. He obviously did not want me to be there. It was such a chore for him to tell me about a certain kind of pipe, or explain something to me, or point out the difference between this and this, or pull out different products for me to compare. And even though I understand from my side of the counter, look, just the other day, I literally, this is literal. Okay. Yeah. I literally pulled out 37 pipes for a guy to look at before he picked one.
Oh, dang.
That's
a lot of pipes.
That's a lot of pipes, right? and that, does it get old? I mean, yeah, but look, this is a person that is, in his case, he wound up buying, I think, a $70 pipe. And that, I mean, he paid the shop $70. I earned that by, I wanted to do everything. He could have done so many things with that $70, right? He could have blown it on booze, or, gone to the golf course, or seen 5 movies.
He could have gone to Wendy's 16 times.
He could have gone to Wendy's, and I mean, he could have done all kinds of things, but he chose to spend that here. And so, as a retailer, I'm thinking like, what are you doing? Not taking care of these people. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just, I don't know. People have so many options nowadays. It's like the least you can do is take care of someone.
That's the thing. We encounter so many different people that listen to this show, and it's like, they're coming to the podcast because they've just gotten into pipe smoking or they've got questions, and we're honored to be that and to provide that service. And I'm not saying we don't want to do that. We absolutely do. But there is a huge responsibility on the shop owners as well, that like, you got to treat every single new face, every single new person that walks through your door as if it is their first time, not just in your shop, but with pipe tobacco, with the pipe scene, with the culture.
That's right.
It's a huge responsibility. So anyway, that's
well, yeah. And that kind of segues into something I, have to mention too. And at this point, I'll drink a sip of Boodles because this is just one of those things.
Oh, this is Boodle. This is a Boodles.
It is
story.
But, nowadays, of course, in our culture, America, things have changed quite a bit. We can, turn on any 24-hour news network and you'll know, this is not the 1980s anymore, right? We're just dealing with different issues and different problems. And, things are going in all kinds of new directions that we couldn't anticipate 10 years ago. And so of late, we have a lot of these other kind of pipe smokers that have found pipe shops, right? So we have the old-fashioned ye old pipe shop, right? The Country Squire that, you walk in and there's these, exquisite handmade pipes from all over the world, adorning these cases that are older than you and I both, and, all this stuff. But then there's this other kind of pipe smoker that comes in, right? And it's for a substance that's not legal in all 50 states yet.
Whoa, man, what are you talking about?
I mean, and we're not all can be as cool as Colorado and Washington State yet. So, some things just aren't available in places like wee little old Mississippi.
But what are you talking about, man? Like, we're real cool in Jackson. You just got to know the places to go.
You do have to know the places to go, and fortunately, the Country Squire is not one of them.
Okay, all right.
But we get it's so funny. It's this ongoing thing. The first couple of years I worked here, I thought, this is kind of funny. People just think, oh, pipe shop, I'm gonna go find a pipe. Nowadays, pipe has a lot different connotation than it does. Did years ago. And so when people Google pipe shop, they're like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna go get my glass pipe or whatever. And so they come up to the shop and they are immediately walk in and looking for this specific thing that is going to help them smoke this herb that is not tobacco. And Beau's singing, and I can't even think of it.
You don't sell it here. You don't sell it here. Not at the Squire.
No, I don't.
You know what we're talking about? Yeah. All right. Now that does have to happen pretty often.
It happens at least once a day. Yeah. But what's interesting is, so, people think, okay, pipe shop. And again, in folks' defense, it's more common to think about, marijuana and whatnot nowadays than it is in a lot of people's minds, an old-fashioned smoking pipe, which of course we know and love and promote today. But, so a lot of people, they Google pipe shop, they come in and they'll look all around the shop and they'll say, where's your glass section? Where's your glass section? I'm like, well, we have glass countertops and there's windows and
this place, you walk in, I'm sorry, you walk into the Country Squire, we're talking brick and mortar. We're talking, you got high-end
old
cigars,
fashioned, man.
You got the pipe tobacco. I don't see anything green back here. You've got tins right there. You've got, what on earth about
I feel like
this
if
shop?
you dug around long enough, you'd find like Charles Spurgeon hiding behind the counter or something. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those places. Like,
you got it back there.
I mean,
it's got a skeleton. That's
it's some. Well, there probably are some skeletons back there.
Sure.
But it's one of those things. Like, at some point, you just gotta realize like your surroundings and your context. It's just kind of
read the room, dude.
So people always come to the Squire. Of course, we get these things. Where's your glass section? We don't have a glass section. But apparently, and I've learned this just being in the industry now long enough. The first couple of years it was cute, but then it just kind of gets old. It grates on you a little bit, right? It's one of those things like when everything's busy, there's 5 people waiting at the register. I'm in the middle of blending a huge batch of Cherokee to fill someone's order. I've got 6 people that want 1 ounce bags, and then the lines out the door, and then all of a sudden the phone rings, right? It's like, oh, hurry and get the phone, and then it's like, you got bongs? And it's like, no, I don't have bong. I don't have a bong.
Oh man.
I don't have one. But what's funny, what also goes along with this stuff. So apparently, this concept of head shops, we hear that, and it just evokes something different than the old Country Squire. You walk in there and maybe there's things that I don't even know what they do, or things that look like more dog toys than they do smoking devices, but that's what they're for. Whatever. That's if you want to do that, that's your thing. But um, shops like that apparently carry a variety of other things, which also kind of go along with that, right? And so people call the Country Squire, assuming that we're a head shop, and we get phone calls for things as random as Jimi Hendrix T-shirts. That's happened before, which is kind of nice. Breathalyzers, we get that pretty regularly. One of the newer ones we hear often is kratom. Kratom is I'm not exactly sure. One of our listeners maybe one of our listeners could maybe educate me on this. But kratom it's like a herb that some people find like a weed substitute, maybe, or something.
Oh, interesting.
And so apparently it's legal in a lot of states. I don't know, but I get phone calls for kratom at least twice a day, like at least twice a day. And I'm like, man, I don't know where you get this stuff, but please tell me. So next time someone calls about it in 5 minutes, I'll be able to tell them. It's just one of those things. And of course, the classic favorites like that people always call about, like one hitters, and then of course the fake urine. Apparently, head shops deal in a lot of things that will help you pass a drug test, right? And so that you go into head shop, you're like, oh, I'm going to pick out my glass pipe, and because I want to keep my job, I'm going to buy this thing that helps me pass a drug test.
You gotta be kidding me.
So people have come in the Country Squire, they've walked through that door that looks like it's set in 1860s England, and they have asked me for a Whizzinator. That happened.
Wow.
That happened. And I don't know what that is.
Hey man, the customer's always right. You got to do what you got to do. If they need some alternative,
I can sell them some of mine.
That's what I'm saying, man. You got an endless supply. That seems like a pretty that seems like a revenue stream.
It's just
I'm kidding, of course.
You
that's dog.
That's
terrible.
Really bad.
Oh
yep.
my goodness.
So it's just on and on. Another favorite thing of mine. People come in. Of course, this is more on the toned down, kindly pipe person, particularly newer folks that are into pipe smoking, and they're excited about trying all these new things. This is something that's it's kind of frustrating, but really deep down, it's just funny. And people get they're just new into pipe smoking, so they don't know, but they'll go all over the country and try all these different pipe tobaccos, and maybe they'll go to they'll be visiting such and such place, and so and so, and I was on a business trip here, and I went in this cigar shop, and it was such a cool cigar shop, and they had 3 jars of tobacco, and man, they sold me this tobacco, and it's just so amazing. And here, can you smell it and try it and see if you can duplicate this tobacco? And 100% of the time, 10 times, 11 times out of 10, it's lane 1Q. And I'm like, I've got it on the shelf right here. Those people at that, precious cigar shop in Hackensack, New Jersey, they didn't blend that.
They crafted this as they took it out of the bag.
And they took it out of the bag, dumped it in this other jar, and then named it like Boardwalk, favorite or whatever.
It's like, oh, you thought you caught them blending, like, but it seemed to go by pretty quick.
It's literally 12 times out of 10. Like, these people come in, and that doesn't make any sense. But these people come in, and they're like, can you duplicate this blend? It's so fantastic and exquisite, and all these flavors, and and it's just lane 1Q. It's great. And of course that goes kind of hand in hand with the folks too that that like to come in also, and we talked at length before about customers that come in and like to talk about maybe all the different cigar knowledge they have or something, but all the pipe knowledge that they've got back in their stored in their brain, all the people they've met in the pipe industry and all this stuff. But then they don't know, what a tamper is, or they don't know necessarily, that you're supposed to use a pipe cleaner after every pipe or something. It's funny to see all these little quirky things that people bring in. That just we may occasionally make the tobacconists want to drink gin.
Yeah, that's why you got the boodles on tap. All right, well, good. All right, so I've got one from the customer side.
Okay.
All right, so when you're walking into a pipe shop, I mean, be it your first time or if you've been in it for a while, one of the first things, doesn't matter why you're there. Maybe you're there for a 10, maybe you're there for pipe tobacco, maybe you're there to meet somebody. You're going to stop. You're going to go over to the glass case. You're going to take a look at all the various pipes that are just laid out. You didn't come in to buy anything, but I mean, like, you got to look, right? Like, I mean, like, you got to see what's new, what's looking good. And if the pipes are just laying out there with no prices next to them, you may fall in love not knowing quite what you're going to get yourself into.
Oh man, it's like you fall in love with this person, but then realize they have wine tastes and you have a beer budget.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that kind of the thing?
Exactly, yeah. Exactly. Or you were looking, you find one, you think, oh my goodness, this. Look at the grain; it's so high end. This is perfect. How much is this? And you realize, it's not a princess of a pipe that you're going after. It's more of a Eliza Doolittle type situation. And so you got to be careful with that.
No, that's right.
So one of the things that always kind of drives me crazy is when I walk to the pipe shop. If I don't see prices next to the pipes,
right,
I just don't even look.
Yeah,
because like I don't know what I'm getting.
You just kind of assume at that point.
Exactly.
That, it's like when they tell you the special item on the such and such menu. It's like, oh, and today's special is the blah 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 with the mink tail and the endangered oysters and all this other stuff. And then you're the fool that like, well, how much is it? And then it winds up costing you a mortgage payment. Just to get out of the door.
Yeah,
so it's funny when people come in and are interested in pipes. Maybe all our pipes are marked the prices, obviously, but a lot of folks, they don't really pay attention to that, or maybe they're kind of curious about the pipes, and so I'm always really indiscriminate. If someone wants to see a pipe and it's $1,000 pipe, and generally they have looked at only corncob pipes before, I'm going to pull that pipe out and let them look at it. I want them to see what good briar looks like, and what that kind of artisanship, if someone's hand turned some kind of decorative ornament on the pipe or something like that. I want those things to be clear. It's just fun, but it is always interesting. Once people realize, oh, I missed the price tag on that. Oh,
well, and you want to
well, that's nice. Thank you. I'm not going to touch that at all. All right, please put that back.
To your point, you do want to make sure that if somebody comes in and asks for like the most expensive pipe, you still go through with it, and you don't try to write them off. You don't want that Pretty Woman situation. Of somebody coming back in and they went down to the pipe shop down the road with like, all these expensive stuff and be like, big mistake. Is that reference lost on people? I don't know if it's lost on people or not. Pretty Woman? Isn't Pretty Woman was with the Julia Roberts, and she was the lady of the evening who falls in love with the guy, and then she tries to buy the thing, and nope. All right, I'm the only person in this shop right now that knows what I'm talking about. So we'll, y'all head over to Twitter. And
I'm sure we've got some other folks. But well, I do have to mention, and we'll close on this, but there are so many odd experiences that I have in a shop like the Country Squire that I know and love. And these are all things that are just so memorable. Some of them are incredibly tender and sweet. Some of them are weird, or some of them, some things I hear in here are just crazy and make you want to cringe. But then there's these other things that just are strange, right? And just you have to file them back in the kind of the miscellaneous category. We've got one customer that comes to the shop. We call him the Pilgrim. We call him the Pilgrim.
Ooh, do I know the Pilgrim?
You don't know the Pilgrim.
Okay.
And at least I don't believe. But the Pilgrim comes in at random times. We won't see him for months and months. And then he'll come in like 3 weeks in a row, right? And it's just real sporadic. And it's always these really awkward encounters. But the Pilgrim is really I like to think of when he comes in that this place can be one of the few places maybe on earth that he can come in and have normal interactions with people.
Okay? Oh, interesting. Okay.
Now for him, they're normal interactions. You see what I'm saying?
I think I'm picking up what you're putting
down. So they're normal interactions for him. Where he can come in and interact with people, and folks don't run in terror and fear, generally. And so even though it might be uncomfortable, for other folks to interact with this particular individual, my goal and prayer is that for this individual, it's one place where when he does show up, as long as he's not really making things super uncomfortable for others, it's a place where he can come and just be weird for a little bit, right?
Yeah, you let your hair down, yeah.
No, that's it. So, anyway, we, there's all kinds of stories surrounding this, the pilgrim, and we love the pilgrim, and we try to take care of him when he's here. But one really stands out to me, and this is kind of one of those things where the patience of the person behind the counter just gets tested a little bit, and you just have to, you have to be, I don't know, just you just have to pray that you're going to be kind and generous and loving and all that. But I'm really busy one day. I'm back here behind the tobacco bar, just blending my heart away, filling, I think, mail orders at the time, and on and on. And the pilgrim walks in, and of course, starts talking, and it's always a one-sided conversation, and things just kind of carry on. And I try to stay engaged enough to where I'm tracking with them. I want him to know that I'm aware, and I'm following and all this thing. But also I've got things to do, and so I'm trying to be responsible. And so anyway, eventually he's like, "I need a sheet of paper," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah. Let me stop what I'm doing. I'll go get you a sheet of paper." And so I got it. He asked for a sheet of paper and a pen.
Okay.
And then he went to the other side of the shop, and he wrote a bunch of things down on this notepad. And he came back. It was probably, I don't know, 5 or 8 minutes later, something like that. And he had written this list. Okay, and he looked at me very, very seriously, and he handed me this list, and he said, "John David, these are some things that you need to do." And he was very serious about this. He says, "These are things that you really need to do if you want to grow this business." And then he handed me this.
I'm being handed a framed sheet.
So I just handed Beau the actual thing that Pilgrim handed me that day.
Okay. So with the understanding that I am already dyslexic, it looks like handwriting. Vandinate the system. Vandinate the system.
I think it's validate.
Validate the system. Moderate the system. Moderate.
Yeah.
Blaspheme the
pilgrims. And that's why we call him Pilgrim.
He wrote something, then he scratched it out. Monorail the Sweet.
I think it's Morial.
Right.
Morial the Sweet.
I like monorail. And shame.
Sure knew the Downser.
Sure knew the Downser.
All right, so we have
this. You're gonna have to explain this.
We have this list, right? And so it's framed. It sits next to my tobacco bar on the wall over by my personal pipes. So it's always there, and I have no idea what any of this means, right?
But it is the only thing that you were gonna like if you want to grow this business.
But he was so sincere. He looked me in the eye and he said, "John David, if you want to grow business at the Country Squire, these are the things that you will have to do."
Wow.
And they include validate the system, moderate the system, blaspheme the pilgrims.
How dare they?
Morial the Sweet, and then sure knew the Downser. My favorite part about this, other than blaspheming pilgrims, which obviously deserve to be blasphemed.
I mean, except for the pilgrims of the Country Squire.
Except for the Country Squire radio pilgrims. Is that the fourth thing on this list? He actually had written "sure knew the Downser."
Sure knew the Downser.
But then he crossed it out,
and
he kept going with the list. But then at the end of the list, he thought to himself, "No, he's got to do that.
He's got to sure knew the Downser.
He's got to do that." And then he wrote it again.
Right, yeah. I'm gonna ask you something.
Yeah.
Is sure knew a word?
Not in my language.
Wow. But you got to sure knew the Downser.
You got to.
You got to. And the Downser is
it's just
exactly. Okay.
It's down, man.
All right.
Yeah.
Sure knew the Downser.
It's right after
hashtag sure knew the Downser.
That's right. And we're gonna blaspheme some pilgrims.
Yeah, blaspheme.
And this bizarre little note, it caught me in the middle of a crazy day. I wanted to pull my hair out, and here I am. Just I had to laugh. I just had to stop and kind of receive this and tell Pilgrim, man, thank thanks, Pilgrim. Like, just man, thanks. Obviously, that's not his first name, but I just had to tell him, thanks, man. This is really kind, and so I keep this next to me as I'm blending.
That's beautiful.
To remind myself to validate the system, Moriel the Sweet, and blaspheme the Pilgrims.
Man, beautiful. Yeah. Beautiful. That list right there seems like one of those auto-tune guys needs to take that and go crazy. That's crazy.
We did have our good mutual friend Charlie, who does some music. He did talk about making a song called "Blaspheme the Pilgrims."
Oh wow,
he did, and actually, if you think about it, like from a metal standpoint or something,
yeah,
it would be a pretty awesome.
That's right up Charlie's avenue.
That'd be a pretty awesome tune.
Brilliant. Yeah. Well, man. So there you go. There's some pipe shop fails and also some pipe shop best practices apparently all wrapped up in this particular episode.
Morieling the Sweet is incredibly important.
Yeah. No, I don't mean to make fun. If anything, I feel like I'm learning how to be a better business owner.
I will mention for Pilgrim in his defense, he loves to smoke Latakia, and for our English blend smokers, he's one of those people.
It's Briar, isn't it?
It's not. It's not. Although that would be awesome.
That would be brilliant.
That would be awesome.
Does look like his handwriting.
And that does look like his handwriting. That is something he would write. But aside from that, he loves Latakia, and on many occasions I've seen Pilgrim smoke an entire bowl of Latakia straight. Just straight.
There you go.
And so
that'll have you shornewing Downser.
You shornew all kinds of Downsers doing that, man. Yeah.
All right, man. Well, hey, no matter if you're shornewing the Downser or validating the system, you can do so while enjoying some great quality tobacco, be it straight Latakia or otherwise. And you can do so in the best corncob pipes available. And of course, I'm talking about the pipes available from our good friends at Missouri Meerschaum.
That's right.
Now, this is really fun, man. We're doing something very different this episode that I don't think has ever been done in the history of pipe podcasting. We are this episode is being brought to us by a pipe that is also currently being smoked as we speak right now by a brand new pipe smoker of 18 who's tuning into the show for his first time.
Dude, no way.
His name is Jonas, Portland Paul's young son.
Dude.
Who's just been welcomed into the family, so to speak.
He just turned 18.
Jonas, turned 18.
Portland Paul's son, and he's smoking what pipe?
A Country Gentleman. And let me tell you, the Country Gentleman from Missouri Meerschaum that is a great pipe to enjoy for your first ever pipe.
Dude, that's great, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Awesome.
So congratulations, Jonas. Welcome to the Brotherhood of the Briar, so to speak.
Or the Cob.
Or the Cob, the cabal of the Cob, if you will. How about that?
We need to talk to Missouri Meerschaum. Maybe they could run with that.
Yeah, we could figure something out of that. But yeah, welcome aboard. But yes, of course, Country Gentleman is an excellent pipe. So if you've never checked one out, you absolutely should. I've got 3 that I own.
Do you really? Wow. Well, I know one of your most beautiful altered Missouri, custom Missouri Meerschaum, custom cobs is started as a Missouri.
That's right.
Or as a Country Gentleman.
They marked it for
obviously I can't speak tonight. But,
that's all right.
But a beautiful pipe. It's such a popular shape. I think here at the shop, we've kind of landed on the Missouri Meerschaum Legend being the best seller, but the Country Gentleman is probably not far behind. It's just a generous bowl. It has a really elegant look to it. A lot of folks like that kind of black stain on the outside. It just gives it a little more sophistication. Just a really lovely pipe and a good starter pipe for someone like Jonas.
Yeah. Oh, well, congratulations, Jonas. Welcome in. Welcome on board. And by the way, if you, like Jonas, are enjoying a Country Gentleman, be sure to take a picture of it, tweet it in. We love getting those tweets in. It's a great way for us to retweet them out to let the good folks at Missouri Meerschaum know you appreciate them for sponsoring this show. Pipe question of the week this week is brought into us by Steve Jobs Jr., probably not the same.
Oh, man.
The question is kind of a follow-up, honestly, to last week's. He says that last week's question was about how artsy pipes affect the smoke, but what about price? Does a more expensive price really guarantee a more quality/consistent smoke?
Yeah, guarantee, certainly not. And again, this is where the point of coming from a reputable dealer, name brands and artisans out there that have a history, a legacy that you can kind of refer back to. There's something to be said, even if you make an excellent pipe, but you're brand new at it, maybe you should price your pipes a little lower, just so people can kind of start to get comfortable with your skill set. Because a lot of new pipe smokers, they'll buy a $300 pipe. It's made by someone that has been carving for a little bit, but maybe they have a few burnouts or something like that, and that carver is as talented as they are, just doesn't really quite understand yet how a certain block of briar shouldn't be carved in a certain way or certain thickness or something like that, and just is asking too much of the wood to do what they wanted it to do. All that to say, this is a really important way, when you start asking these questions, to look into the maker of the pipe, and where you're getting it from. And does that make us brand name snobs? Well, we don't want it to. But there is a utility in that. If you buy from someone like Missouri Meerschaum, for instance, or Savinelli, Chacombe, Stanwell. I mean, these are makers that have been around forever. I mean, just over 100 years in some cases, and in many cases, and so they've got a track record to stand on. We know from makers, for instance, like Savinelli. Okay, so you're going to buy a pipe from them. Every briar that has ever left their shop, okay, they make a pipe. Every pipe that's ever left their shop in finished state has been aged at least 2 years before they even started carving the pipe. Okay. So buying a name brand pipe like that that you're at least getting that, right? You're buying a piece of briar that potentially is at least 2 years old, and so has some dryness to it. It's harder. It's gonna smoke cooler. It'll typically be more durable. You know that there's a quality that's there due to that. So a lot of your carving shops and brands out there, they're going to charge more because they've got superior pieces of briar. They're aging them longer. And that's before they even get to any kind of artisanship, adornments on the pipe. Does it have silver on it? Does it have some kind of premium stain? I know tonight actually I'm smoking my Neerup pipe, and these are made by Petter Jeppesen, one of our best selling pipes here at the Country Squire. We love Petter's pipes; he does such a good job. But
I love those Neerups.
one thing that Petter does that really makes his pipe stand out, and the reason why you're going to pay a little more for him, is that he goes crazy with these contrast stains. The contrast stain, he'll stain this pipe just a dark, dark color. He'll let that dark color just get deep into those grains, and then he'll sand all of it off and stain it really, really light or something crazy to contrast it. And so you just get this exquisite finish that has so much character to it. But you're going to pay more for that because it took him a long time to do that. And so, does more expensive necessarily mean better, cooler smoking and longer lasting and all these things? Well, no, but you do know, if you're buying from certain name brands, that they've put some certain kind of quality control on their pipes, right? At least that's the goal and what we hope. So anyway, typically that's where your correlation is. Personally, from the guy behind the counter on this side, where I've kind of landed on this is, there's a huge difference between a $50 pipe and a $200 pipe. Okay. Huge difference.
Okay.
Like, they're just a gigantic difference.
In terms of smokability.
In terms of smoking, the drilling, if it's going to be a cool smoker, durability, is it, the moisture buildup, all kinds of stuff. It's just, there's just a big difference in my mind between a $50 pipe and a $200 pipe. But once you get above that, once you get 300 and up, if we're talking artisan carvers that are reputable, okay, artisan carvers that are reputable. I'm not talking about like, oh, Billy Bob down on the corner, carved a pipe out of something and he charged me $500 for it.
Hey man, Billy Bob is getting really good. His pipes have both holes in it.
They do.
Yeah, you can actually smoke his pipes now.
They're actually smokable.
Kind of.
Yeah, I got one holding up the beer fridge right now because it's missing a leg.
That is one of the best. What do you call it? The arms, legs.
No, that's right.
I've seen for the beer
Billy
fridge.
Bob pipe. Yeah,
that's a Billy Bob pipe.
So if you're getting something from a reputable, carver, artisan carver, or a carving house, think Costello, Dunhill, Ser Jacopo, something like that. I mean, these are pipes that once you reach over, let's say $300, you're paying more for the beauty of the grain, the artisanship, and the rarity of stuff, right? So you're paying for rarity, I think, in that case. And so, one again, huge difference between a $50 pipe and a $200 pipe. But after that, it kind of, in my mind, tends to dramatically kind of level off there. So yeah, is a $800 Costello going to be, maybe a premium smoker over a $150 Peterson or something? Well, in all likelihood, probably, but the difference there is going to be probably less dramatic than it would be between, a $180 Nerup as opposed to, your Dr. Graybo or something like that. So
Right.
yeah, that's where I tend to get, kind of where I fall on that issue. Again, from your, more premium carvers, you're going to have aged briar that's from older trees, that is given, received from better briar vendors and dealers. And typically has been treated better. The grain's better, which means it's going to breathe better and smoke cooler and be more durable, and on and on and on. And so, that's just kind of where it is.
Great pipe question of the week.
Yeah, good question. Good
Again,
question.
from Steve Jobs Jr. And hey, if you've got a pipe question of the week, you can send it in under your real name as well, if you want to, or alias is fine. You can send those in at show@countrysquireradio.com. Quickfire question. All right, man. These come in from thispipelife.com. Of course, thispipelife.com, an awesome online community. More about them in just a moment. These are actually from a user over there, Pappy Joe. Man,
oh, really?
Yeah,
dude, Pappy.
We
get some questions in for Pappy. It's been a while since we've gotten some in from Pappy.
Man.
That's great.
Well, it's the holidays.
Yeah,
this is the time, man. Tis the season, and actually, Pappy Joe has some quick fire questions that are seasonal and relatable to this time of year. Are you ready, sir?
Yeah, bring them.
All right, eggnog or hot buttered rum?
Eggnog.
I've never actually had hot buttered rum.
I haven't either. That's why I answered eggnog.
Gosh, I mean, it's hot, which is good when it's cold outside. It's buttered, so
duh.
Yeah. And then also
gotta have mo butter.
You got the rum, which I would assume is dark rum, right?
I would think so.
Yeah.
If you're putting it in a wintry cocktail.
Yeah, I mean, white rum and butter doesn't seem like it would mix, which is weird because butter goes with everything.
I'm still gonna go with eggnog.
All right, sounds good. I'm gonna go with eggnog as well. Whole cranberry or jellied?
Whole cranberry. I did grow up with the old cranberry sauce out of the can kind of thing. So you pop the top of the can and then you just kind of sluck it out of the can. It's sluck. It just kind of sluck out of the can. And then you've got this kind of gelatin mass sitting on a plate somewhere that some kind lady with a knife just kind of dices up, and then you smear it on your turkey or something.
Yeah.
I grew up with that.
Yeah.
So there's a fondness there, but I'm more of a whole cranberry kind of guy.
I do remember that from the school cafeteria, but it's funny because in my family, growing up, we were never like big, or my family was never really big into kind of cranberry sauce. Up until a couple of years ago, when a friend of my mom's made some cranberry sauce with whole cranberries and like walnuts and like this really oh man, it was awesome.
Dang,
it was really good. And it blew me away. I was like, oh my gosh, I never knew it could be like this. Like this had completely opened my eyes to what cranberry sauce could be. And so every single year since, this family friend has made this cranberry sauce specifically for me because nobody else in our family really likes it. And it's served every year with the turkey.
That's awesome.
Whole cranberry all the way. And then finally, Christmas tree, fir or pine?
Fir.
Pine is the one that's like sturdier branches, right?
I don't know, but I think last night we bought a Douglas fir, and that's the one I like the best. And so I'm gonna go with Douglas fir.
All right. So this is I always go.
It's got the branches that have like it comes out
right,
and then it comes out with a lot of little ones on that.
Right.
But like, well, that defines every branch that's ever been defined ever. I really can't explain it.
Would you consider the prickles to be soft or like pointy?
Pointy.
Okay, so that's the one that I like too.
Yeah.
All right. So
I think that's the fir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'm down with the fir. That's good. That's good. That's how I would take it.
And people think we're insane. And they're right.
Certainly Pappy Joe does, but that's part of the reason why he loves us. And of course, he added these to the community over at thispipelife.com. Now, thispipelife.com is a great way to send some quick fire questions in. It's also a great way to make friends with other folks in the pipe community. They've got some great forums over there. There's also some great information if you're like new to pipe smoking and you want kind of to dig in more, see some pictures, some guidance, get just some fireside chats with people from around the industry. A great place to do it is at thispipelife.com. What you'll need to do is sign up there, use the code CSR when you do it, and that lets them know you heard about it on this show. It's free one way or the other. I don't want to make you think it's not. But if you use the code CSR when you register, it lets them know that you heard about it on this show. So check them out again. Again, that's CSR at thispipelife.com. Listen to feedback. All right, so last week, we mentioned the fact that your website had shut down because of the esoterica and everything.
It really was ugly.
And so I gotta say sorry because Jim actually wrote into the show.
Yeah.
Pipe Carver, and he actually he said this was what did Jim have to say?
Yeah, he said, yes, Beau, too soon. I was on the website with the esoterica in my cart when the website crashed. I took it as a sign from above. Good show, guys. Happy Thanksgiving, Jim. Jim, I don't know what else to tell you other than we're going to really try as hard as we can to do better next time.
Yeah.
assuming y'all are gracious enough to stick with us that there is a next time.
I mean,
yeah.
Would it? All right, I'm going to propose this.
It was a difficult day. We're still cleaning up the mess from that esoterica release.
I know.
It was bad. I've had to be, our patrons are extremely gracious. I'll just put it that way. Extremely gracious.
Did you let club members know about it first?
I did not.
Could that be a thing next time?
It might be.
That might be a nice little deal for those.
Yeah, by that time maybe it'll all be gone.
I think he's a club member, if I'm not mistaken. But it could be a way to help. You tear it out.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
everybody gets a ticket.
I think we've got to do a better job down the road of making sure that we're prepared for it. We thought we were. We tried really hard, obviously, to get it right, but we'll try harder.
Man, that esoterica, that episode's coming. We can't do it now because it's all too soon.
Oh, it's just it's too soon.
Early next year. We also got an iTunes review in from Loami. I don't know what that was that I just did there.
I don't either.
What did Lo have to say?
Yeah, it said, informative and fun. This is a must listen for all who enjoy pipes and tobacco. The hosts are good friends, and they invite you to listen to their thoughts and conversation around the world of pipes, cigars, tobacco, and occasionally the good beverages that go along with them. If you want to learn about pipes and tobacco, regardless of how long you've smoked them, then do yourself a favor and listen to this podcast. Man, that's great feedback for sure. We're really grateful for that kind of feedback because we do want to be a resource for a lot of folks to, regardless of where on the trail that you are.
Absolutely. And we love getting those iTunes reviews in. Those are awesome. Thank y'all so much for doing those. And by the way, it is a great way to help out the show. If you want to help us out, it doesn't cost you a dime. Head over to iTunes, write us a review. It helps let people know about this show when you do that. And it's also just great feedback. That feedback is really part of what fuels us up. Another thing that fuels us up is dollars and cents. We really appreciate those of you who are able to support the show by joining us over at patreon.com/Country Squire Radio or becoming a full-fledged club member there as well. You can find the links to do so at countrysquireradio.com. We also want to encourage you can follow us throughout the week. I'm at The Real Beau York.
I'm at John David Cole, or you can get us at the shop at _Country Squire.
And of course, the show's handle is at Squire Radio, but all that information and more can be found at countrysquireradio.com, where you can tune in live every single Monday night. And of course, you can join us here at 8:30 Central. That, of course, is 6:30 Pacific, 9:30 Eastern. Again, at countrysquireradio.com Monday nights. Did I say Monday nights?
You did. Okay. You did a great job. Hey, real quick, additional listener feedback. Our friend Joe Smokes Pipes. He says, interesting, and I didn't know this, so this is good. All the folks calling in for crazy stuff like Kratom that we talked about before. He said, at Squire Radio, Kratom is a natural painkiller sleep aid that also helps people kick opiate addiction.
Oh, dang.
And you got to think, okay, now, again, this is from Joe Smokes, but, we have listeners that care a lot about our community and most likely, he is educated on this, certainly probably more than I am. But, I would think that, that might be a good thing. So, certainly with opiate addiction, what it is in America right now, something like Kratom may help with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't know. Maybe that's maybe that's a good thing.
Joe, thanks for helping keep us honest and also reducing the amount of emails that we'll get afterwards.
But I will say we don't sell Kratom.
Good to know. All right, man. Well, hey, let's go have a week.
Bye. Bye, Beau. I hadn't even had. Look, I've still got some left.
We're gonna try that one more
I've
time.
been good tonight,
Mike. We're gonna take that from the top. Bayou? You know who calls me Bayou? The hurricane.
The hurricane does. Yeah, that's unacceptable.
All right, we're fixing that right here now. All right, man. Well, that being said, let's go have a night.
See you, brother.
There it is. Unbelievable.
Very, very good. Very, very good.
All right, everybody. Thank y'all so much for tuning in live. Y'all are awesome.
Man, we had a great time tonight. It's always good to spend Monday evenings with you. So, man, y'all take it easy. See you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.